Shock, surprise, and curiosity. These were some of the many emotions that latched on me when I saw the news. Apple asked its suppliers to change Made in Taiwan to Made in Taiwan, China for the Chinese market. I, for one, thought that every Apple product gets the same Made in California Apple statement, but that doesn't seem to be the case. However, I didn't ponder over it much as I was shocked more with the next word after Taiwan. So I jumped onto Google to find some answers, and oh boy, I found some. China, the territory feared by most industrialists, if not all. Samsung has moved a big chunk of its production outside China owing to the immense international pressure. This, combined with the increasing demands of the government, is enough to break most foreign companies. But Apple has been going the other way. It has been cooperating with the government and it's moving its production to China. It is slowly swapping out its manufacturing partner Foxconn for its Chinese competitor Luxshare. Why? I asked myself. Why is it that while most Western businesses are moving away from China, the biggest tech giant is going the other way? The answer is two things: the vast extent of the Chinese market and the diminishing competition. The Chinese market is vast. With the world's largest population at hand, it also possesses diversity. There are two major sects or groups of people. One being the people of towns and villages who mostly buy budget phones, the other being the people of the city who buy flagship devices. These two groups cancel out each other, resulting in the average spending on a phone to be $310 or in the mid-range section. But companies have managed to find out that the most profitable section is the second one, the people of the city. Huawei's fall has nearly freed up 30% of the market, and all the other Chinese companies scurried around, really releasing new and amazing flagships to cater for this market. This has also had the attention of Apple. Tim Cook, back in his day, had made Apple enter the cutthroat Chinese market, which made him the inevitable successor to the legendary Steve Jobs. Apple saw this opportunity and pounced on it. They had, according to me, three key advantages from the others which made their jobs a whole lot easier. The three being brand value, software, and the ecosystem. Apple is a reputed premium brand as people buy their handheld not only with specs but also with the brand. Apple, being a premium brand, has an advantage against the likes of Xiaomi, Oppo, etc., who were earlier focusing on affordable devices. As Google apps or services are not allowed in the Chinese mainland, therefore companies have to build their own software. Here is where Apple has a distinct advantage. Since it has an already ready-made and wonderful software, it does not need to go back to the drawing board to create a new one. Apple's software, being heavily famous and premium, has driven a lot of purchases. The ecosystem has also been an important chapter in Apple's book. A customer, after entering the ecosystem, often stays in there as they are impressed by the convenience of using it. This helps Apple capture the market more easily. To achieve this, a $275 billion deal was signed way back in 2016. This deal stated that Apple would invest the promised sum in the country by investments and business deals. Like I earlier mentioned, Luxshare and WingTech are taking over what Foxconn used to do for Apple. The iPhone manufacturer also seems to swap out Samsung's display to the Chinese BOE display. Apple has ramped up its production and for a short while also became number one in the industry in China. Currently, reports suggest that 20% of Apple's sales occur in China. The Chinese government is pretty happy with this development as it benefits them, in fact, more than Apple. The presence of such a huge company in the country brings in a lot of employment to the workers who once worked for companies like Huawei. But I think the bigger role at play here is power. See, Apple is TSMC, the chip manufacturer's biggest customer. They are Samsung, the display manufacturer's biggest customer. They are also the biggest partners of Foxconn. Apple is linked with numerous companies in the industry. Therefore, the fate of these companies is tied to the fate of Apple's. This bigger company being in China effectively means that sooner or later the economy is going to flourish and the stock prices of the industry is going to be dependent on the sales in China. Apple, on top of that, has been playing by the rules very obediently. The company, which fights for privacy, gave the Chinese government access to the iCloud of all their users in China. The company says that it did this to abide by the rules of China. The company took down thousands of apps from the App Store in China to abide by the regulation. It also took down the flag of Taiwan from iMessage. To be frank, even Apple is in a situation where China forms a crucial part of its functionality. It has tried diluting the role of China by placing production sites in countries like India, but this isn't yet enough to cover for the gap in production if Apple didn't have China. Currently, Apple is in the final production stage of the iPhone 14. This is the year where Apple may enter the foldable market, a market dominated by its competitor Samsung for nearly half a decade. Therefore, Apple cannot mess this iPhone up. Due to this, they are playing by the Chinese government's wishes, and it is the mindset which led them to the decision of changing Made in Taiwan to Made in Taiwan, China. And with that, I sign off. Thank you for watching the video. Until next week, bye. Making these kinds of informational videos based on technology really excites me, and therefore, if you like it, kindly leave a like down below. This would really encourage me to make more. Happy Independence Day. Let there be a Tiranga in every house. Jai Hind.